Okay, we're going to the policy recommendations. We're going to the, to see what we can do and what we can learn to do in the future. And maybe we can do it better, or maybe we can learn from each other, or tell each other how things are done very well, but maybe there are things that could be even better. So first I would like to introduce you. I'm not going to introduce you in the same way that you're seated, because I'm a bit introducing you, well, one to another. We have Olivia Luna Conejo here from Spain, Andalusia, and you're going to talk about diversia, reconciliation of work and private life. So I'm going to ask you within a few minutes to tell us a bit more about that. E-health and independence, South East England, T-Cares, and also Home 04 and Share IT, social and e-inclusion is that, will be presented by Jolanda Schneider from the Netherlands. So England and the Netherlands are combined. Then we have Rose McNally from the Stockholm region in Sweden. You will tell us something more to us about the Silver Academy, Silver Economy. Okay, and then we have Iwa Slizak, yes, from Malopolska, Poland. You're going to tell us something more about social entrepreneurship. And then we have here Peppa, Civil Society Empowerment, Venice, Italy, and that's Sandra Ranero. Okay, Olivia Luna, I'm going to ask you to, tell your recommendations about the reconciliations of work and private life.
Okay, so bonjour tout le monde. Good morning, everyone. It's a really pleasure for me to be here telling you the political recommendation on reconciliation of work, private and family life of women and men. And today I think it's a very special day for all people, partners, and all partners of the sub-project. We are presenting this recommendation, and I hope that most of them could be taken into consideration by policymakers, because I think this is the most important. So answering to your question, Mike, I think that in a European context of important, significant demographic challenge with falling birth rate and increasing level of dependency, reconciliation policies are very important in order to address this situation, but also to reach gender equality between women and men. But when I talk on reconciliation, I'm not talking on reconciliation measures for women only or for mothers, because I think these kind of traditional measures have reinforced discrimination suffered by women. So in People Project, we have been focused on reconciliation policies from a gender approach in order to guarantee an equal participation of both women and men in all spheres of life. Because we think also that reconciliation policies may contribute to increase the participation of both women and men in the labor market, but in terms of equality, and they also contribute to a best sharing of co-responsibility between women and men. Because we think by means of this co-responsibility, we avoid that women still remain in Europe the main carers of children and elderly. In fact, I have also so many figures and data to share with you. I want to tell you that in Europe, women between the age of 25 to 44 years spend 3 times longer than men in childcare, and also employing women spend 39 hours a week on average on home care activities, compared to men's only 26 hours. In fact, there are numerous data, as you can see, that reveal gender inequality, as the fact that women are employed in part-time works and on fixed-term contract at a higher frequency than men. The proportion is 31% for women compared to 80% for men. But the most amazing data, in my opinion, is that in 2009, the employment rate of women having children under the age of 12 dropped by the 12%, and for men, the rate increased by 9.1%. I wonder why? It's so unfair. This is only to, I try to tell you that the fact that we have reached formal gender equality doesn't mean to have reached the real gender equality. We have a lot of work to do and to keep on working and to try to improve so many things, not only in the labor market, but in all spheres of life. And about reconciliation, we have a set of political reconciliation on this issue, and we have divided into 3 main groups: an European legal framework, then we have specific measures on reconciliation, and the horizontal issues in order to promote co-responsibility of women and men. Our first recommendation is supporting the final approval of the maternity leave directive, is the 92/85. This directive is important for us for so many reasons, but I want to underline two reasons. This directive improves the provision of maternity leave. For instance, is extending maternity leave to 20 weeks full pay, and also it introduces a paternity leave full pay for 2 weeks. And I want to focus on paternity leave, because paternity leave is important in order to promote co-responsibility of men in the caring duties. So our recommendation in People Project is to support this directive that at the moment has been approved by the European Parliament and has to be approved by the Commission. Okay. The second recommendation is the regulation by law of gender equality plans at workplace as obligatory. As you know, gender equality plans contribute to detect any kind of gender discrimination in the companies between male and female workers. And in the field of reconciliation, they can improve flexible work conditions of both male and female workers in order to improve reconciliation life of both women and men. We have another recommendation relating Barcelona targets. Barcelona targets are referring to the commitment of a member state adopted by member state in 2002 in the Barcelona European Council in order to provide by 2010 90% of facilities for children under the age of 3 years. But the point is that nowadays, most of the member states didn't reach this target. So we recommend to invest on public infrastructure in order to promote and to improve the reconciliation of male and female workers. Then we have another recommendation. It's implementing local reconciliation agreements. They constitute a specific reconciliation plans adapted to the territory where he is going to be implementing and to the features of the population. So the population can participate in every phase of the implementation and have their own reconciliation plans. Yeah, and I think this is very innovative and interesting too. And then we recommend keep on promoting studies on gender issues and reconciliation in order to detect the new trends and needs in reconciliation. In this occasion, I want to mention Diversity as a project because they have implementing a very interesting study about the new needs of reconciliation adapted to the new family models. Here we are, some of the partners presenting, so congratulations for your work. And another recommendation is advancing toward a co-educational school model in order to avoid gender stereotype. Gender stereotype that may influence women's and men's choice of studies and job and may lead to a gender segregated labor market. And this gender stereotype also have an influence in the unequal share of responsibilities of women and men in all the different spheres of their life. And finally, what I consider a very important recommendation is the consolidation of time policies, because time policies go, they are a step forward on reconciliation measures because they need to coordinate not only working times that are important, but also urban times, public service time, private service time, to the need of women and men. So they are focused on different areas like transport or urban planning or child and elderly care. So try to coordinate them in a very participative and human social model. And finally, I would like to mention the importance of the European Pact for Gender Equality 2011-2020, which identifies reconciliation measures as a key action for gender equality. And last, I would like to tell you, this is not a political recommendation, but a personal opinion or personal recommendation, is that I think that to invest in policy reconciliation from a gender approach is to invest in the future of an old continent as Europe. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Within a few minutes, a bit more than a few minutes, we will hear from the stakeholders and policymakers what they can do with your recommendations. So I'm very curious about that.